Okay, good morning. Welcome to Leave With Love. So, I always talk about the Sculpt Touch. The link for that will be in the description box so you can check it out. But in this video, it's Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody. I like this time of year. I'm always a witch on this time of year. I did not get dressed up. I didn't get dressed up this year. But it's just such an important day for the dead. It's a day for the dead. So here in the US, it's like this is the day. Halloween is the day where the dead can come back to us, right? That's what they say. But everybody gets dressed up in costumes and and you just celebrate. You just have a good time. But I wanted to take this time and talk about Dia de los Muertos. That's the Day of the Dead. The Day of the Dead is a 2-day holiday. So it's November November 1st. November. Yeah, November 1st. It's tomorrow actually. So how I remember it is because it's always right after Halloween. It's not Halloween the day, it's the day after Halloween and the day after that. So I had it. So Dia de los Muertos is a 2-day holiday. It's a Mexican holiday also. So and then I'm gonna be on my computer and I'm gonna put the links in the description box for this article so that you can see what I'm talking about. Let me find it. I had it up before. Okay, I got it. It's 6 hour and 11 minute read. But it's a good thing. I talk about it every year because I'm always doing stuff for the ancestors. I'm always remembering the ancestors to honor them, remember them, celebrate them, have an altar for them, put their picture out for them. Like, just remember your ancestors because your ancestors are here with you. It's it's just an important time. So I'm on my computer and I'm trying to get everything okay. Well, I'm on the computer. I'm on the computer. So Dia de los Muertos, like I'm gonna put the article in the description box. Is the Day of the Dead, the holiday. So it's a dedication to the deceased. It's a day. Like you just take time out to honor the dead. You don't feel sad. You don't start crying. Nah. You're supposed to be happy. You're supposed to be happy and you honor them and remember them. The person that's important to me that passed away is my godfather. My godfather gave me like a boveda, not a boveda. It was like a urn because he was supposed to initiate me. So he has everything in it that he was supposed to use for that. But I just never went through with it with him. So I have the urn. So he used to have the urn in his house. So now I have it with me. So that's what I have to remember him by. But I have other people on the altar. I have my aunt. I have my grandmother. My grandmother from my father's side, she passed away and she wrote a letter. So it's in her handwriting, the letter. And I have my grandfather and I have people there that were important to me and that I miss them. Whenever someone passes away, I put them on this altar. I think the newest person that I put on there was a college friend. I put that person on the altar, because this is all spiritual things. Not everyone is spiritual, not everyone cares, not everyone does anything for the dead. So I was thinking and I'm all like excited because I get to burn ancestor money. Like I have a reason to burn it because it's Dia de los Muertos. It's the Day of the Dead. Halloween is here. Halloween is also like a Day of the Dead. So it's like I'm gonna just be burning it for the next 2 days. And it's just a way to remember the ancestors. You remember them, you honor them. I have my table there. You have to have your table clean. You have to have food there. You know, the food is the offering, the ofrenda. It's like whatever dish that they may like, you put it on the altar and you give it to your ancestors and they're gonna be so happy like, oh, you cooked for me, you made this for me. Be like, they're happy. They're happy when you cook for them, but I just wanted to go in here because I usually come on here like in advance and I start talking about ancestor money. I'll be like, oh, you gotta get your ancestor money so you could be ready for Dia de los Muertos. This year, so much has been going on. Damn, so much has been going on. The lawsuit, right? The notary. Then the then the spell broke, and I'm like, oh my god, the ancestors are loose. My ancestors are loose. They are on the. They're loose. I let them do whatever they want to do. This is their time. This is like their best time. They are happy. They are on the loose, and they love defended me. That's it. They are happy to do that. And I am happy to burn the money. I'm just happy to burn it. I'm like, I have a reason. Like my ancestors are here. Like they're always here. I'm gonna go into the article. It's a dedication to the deceased. The Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos, is a 2-day holiday that reunites the living and the dead. Families create ofrendas. Ofrendas are the offerings. That's like the food. You give the food. Like, I'm going to burn the money. Those are the offerings to honor their departed family members that have passed. These altars are decorated with bright yellow marigold flowers. That's the one thing I don't have, the marigold flowers. Photos of the departed and their favorite foods and drinks of the one being honored. The ofrendas are believed to encourage visits from the land of the dead, as the departed souls hear their prayers, smell their foods, and join in the celebrations. Day of the Dead is a rare holiday for celebrating death and life. It is unlike any holiday where mourning is exchanged for celebration. You're not supposed to be sad. You're not supposed to be sad on Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. The Day of the Dead is a holiday to remember loved ones by sharing a meal with them as one would when they were alive. So it's like you cook for them, you make your dish, you make your plate, and you're just happy. Like you're happy to give your offering to your family. Like they here with you. You happy to feed them, love them, feed them, and that's your offering. Like what you make is the offering. So the Day of the Dead is a two part holiday. So the first is November 1st at 12 a.m. And then we have it again on November 2nd at 12 a.m. and then again at noon. So it's like a party for 2 days. For 2 days. And on November 1st is the Day of the Angels. Dia de los Angelitos. That's the day of the children, the spirits of the children. The Dia de los Angelitos is the day of the little angels. Those are like the babies, the little ones that passed away. Starts the holiday at midnight on November 1st, where the spirits of all deceased children are believed to be reunited with their families for 24 hours. Families construct an altar known as an ofrenda with the departed children's favorite snacks, candies, toys, photographs to encourage a visit from their departed children. The names of the departed children will often be written on a sugar skull. So they have skulls. It's a sugar skull, and you would write the baby's name on the skull. But it's like a visit from the ancestors or the deceased loved ones is encouraged on the day. You want them to come to you. You want them to visit you. Like that's what the Day of the Dead is for. Is because you want them with you. Dia de los Difuntos. That's the day of the adults. So at midnight on the following day, November 2nd, the celebration shift to honor the lives of the departed adults. The night is filled with laughter and fun memories. So this is a party at night, okay? Much like the night before. However, the ofrendas take on a more adult-like theme with tequila, pan de muerto, mezcalal. Those are like the Mexican buns, the sweet buns, the sugar buns. The night is filled with laughter and fun memories, much like the night before. However, the ofrendas take a more adult like theme with tequila, pan de muerto, mezclal. That's like the coco, pulque, and jars of atol. This is all Mexican stuff. Like, I'm not Mexican, but you know, like how do you say? I adopt like different beliefs. Like the ancestor money is from China. This Dia de los Muertos is Mexican. It's a big deal in Mexico. Families will also play games together, reminisce about their loved ones, and dance while the village band plays in their town. You know, that's just how it is. It's like a good time. Like, it's not a time to be sad. You're not supposed to be sad about the people that passed. Like, you celebrate their passing, like, you celebrate life. Like, that's what it is. And then on at noon, because on November 2nd, at midnight is the Day of the Adults. And then at noon is Dia de los Muertos, the spirits of all of the dead. The next day is the grand finale and public celebration of Dia de los Muertos. In more recent times, people come together in their cities dressed up with calavera, that's the skulls, painted faces, skeletons, and have parades in the streets. Cemetery visits are also common in the last day as family goes to decorate the grave sites with marigold flowers, gifts, and sugar skulls with the departed's name on them. It's customary to clean the gravestone and restore the color. You know, so here you fix your altar, you clean your altar, you make it pretty for the ancestors, and you give them the offerings, your food, your tequila, your wine, like whatever they're gonna like, then you put it on there and you just honor them, remember them. It's just like, I miss you. Like, I miss my godfather. I woke up, like, it's, what time is it? It's like five something in the morning, and I'm making this video. It's 5:58, and then it's like I'm just thinking of my godfather, like remembering him, because I'm like, this man did, like, he just did everything for me as my godfather, like, you know. But I just never went through with the initiation part of things. But it's fine. How people celebrate the Day of the Dead. Calaveras. Calaveras are the skulls. I don't have a skull here, but they celebrate with the skull of the dead. The skull of the dead. I don't know how else to say that, but it's the actual skull, a human skull. Calaveras are, well, it's just known during the Day of the Dead. The skulls are often drawn with a smile as to laugh at death itself. They take many forms, such as sugar candies and clay decorations, and most memorable, face painting. Sugar skulls are decorated and placed on ofrendas of loved ones. A calavera, or sugar skull, is a decorative skull usually made by hand from either sugar or clay, which is used in the Mexican celebration of the Day of the Dead. So it's like, it's a skull. It's a big deal in Mexico. They have the skulls everywhere. They sell the skulls everywhere because they want you to celebrate your ancestors. They want you to remember them. Flor de los Muertos, like the Mexican marigolds, like the flower for the dead, are marigolds. Marigolds are believed to be the pathways that guide the spirits to the ofrendas. The flower's vibrant colors and scent attracts the departed souls as they return to the feast on their favorite foods. They are called flor de muerto. That's the flower of the dead. And they symbolize beauty and fragility of life. Marigold flowers include around 60 annuals and perennials that are native to Mexico and Central America. It's like, wow. So the ofrenda is the offering. So this is the biggest part, is the offering. Like, what you gonna give your ancestors? What you gonna do for them? You have to do something. The altar is a big part, you know. But when you give them, like when you prepare a dish and you're happy, like you're happy to give them the dish that you prepared, and you're like, I made this for you, like, they're happy just to receive anything from you, because not a lot of people honor their ancestors. Not a lot of people remember their ancestors. So this is a time just to remember them, honor them. The offerings, while the most recognizable aspects of the Day of the Dead are the representations of the skulls and skeletons. The tradition that holds the most meaning is the ofrenda. Like the ofrenda is the biggest, it's a big deal. The ofrenda is the offering. Like you could have your altar, but what you gonna give them? Like what's your offering to your ancestors? Like you have to offer them, so you have to give them something. You gotta do something. The ofrenda is what the whole celebration is about. It's a collection of offerings dedicated to the person being honored. So you want to honor your ancestors. I have multiple people on my altar. I I, I talk about my godfather a lot because my godfather is like real important to me. Yeah, so I'm gonna cook and make him something that I know he's gonna love. A brightly colored oilcloth covers the table. On top of that sits a collection of photographs and personal items of the departed person. The lower portion of the altar is where the offerings are placed, from traditional Mexican cuisine to other items that represent the honored person's particular taste. My godfather loved like liquor. Like he had a collection of liquor, but he couldn't drink because he was sick. He had diabetes, but he would have all this liquor, like all different kind of liquors and flavors, and they don't even make them anymore. And he was just like collecting collecting them. I'm like, wow. Like I was like, wow. Like okay, like I never heard of this one. And he would tell me where it was from and where it came from and everything. I'm like, wow. Fun facts about Day of the Dead. The Day of the Dead is not Halloween. The Day of the Dead is not the Mexican Halloween. Halloween, like it's sometimes mistaken to be because of the timing of the year. The two holidays originated with similar afterlife beliefs, but are very different in modern day. Halloween began as a Celtic festival where people would light bonfires and wear costumes to ward off ghosts, but recently turned into a tradition of costume wearing and trick or treating. Decorating your house with spiders and bats and wearing scary costumes is not done in most parts of Mexico. Like not like we don't dress like that. We'll paint our faces and the skulls and stuff, but we're not trying to scare you. Like we want you to celebrate the dead. So it's not to scare you. It's like for you to be happy and excited. Like you should be happy. Like I'm happy to cook and like to give my offering to the ancestors. It's not somber. Like you're not supposed to be sad. It's celebratory. You're supposed to be celebrating. Many of us see death as a sad event, but those who celebrate the Day of the Dead as view it as a welcomed part of life. That is why you will see brightly colored skeletons and skulls everywhere. During the holiday, damn, it gets so noisy here. I'm just trying to. I'm almost done with this one. Many see death as a sad event, but those who celebrate the Day of the Dead view death as a welcomed part of life. That is why you will see brightly colored skeletons and skulls everywhere. During the holiday, they often seem smiling as a friendly nod to death. Like, you're not supposed to be scared of death. Welcome it. Like, it's okay. Like, you be like, it's like you're mocking it. They often seem smiling as a friendly nod to death, even mocking death. This view of death began way back during the 1 month Aztec festival, where they celebrated death and paid homage to the Lady of Death. This is a word I can't even pronounce it. Michikalanchwali? who protected their departed loved ones and helped them in the afterlife. Traditions are different by country, is different. Believe it or not, Mexicans are not the only ones to celebrate the Day of the Dead. It is widely celebrated holiday all over the world. In fact, many religious communities celebrate All Souls Day, also known as All Saints Day, during the same time as the Day of the Dead. The act of honoring the dead is widely celebrated around the world. But the Day of the Dead is unique in its traditions, the ofrenda, the meaning of life and death, the use of calaveras, that's the skull. Calaveras is the skull. The style, if influenced by La Catrina, and more recently, the festivals in the streets. Our dead are never dead, dead to us. The dead are never dead, until we have forgotten them. So it's like you always have to remember the ancestors. You honor them. You do something for them. Like, don't forget them. You're not supposed to forget the ancestors. Like, you have to remember them. You have to do something for the ancestors. I think there was a movie, I forgot the name of it. I love the movie. It was the same concept. It was in Mexico. And it was like you just can't forget them, because when you forget them, then they're not there anymore. So it's like you can't forget the ancestors. You have to remember them. And that is it. I just wanted to talk about it because today is Halloween. So it's like everybody can get dressed up and get all scary and stuff. And then they say today is the day where the deceased come alive. Like they come alive on Halloween. That's what's sad. But and then we celebrate Dia de los Muertos on November 1st. It's a 2-day holiday. So we celebrate it on November 1st and November 2nd. And it's like you just honor them, you cook for them, you prepare your table for them, you get their picture. It's like you just honor them and remember them. Like, that's my ancestor right there. You be proud of them. Like, don't be sad and crying and upset. Like, you be happy. And I'm gonna go burn some ancestor money for the ancestors, and I'm just happy just to do that for them. I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thank you. Always leave it love. Bye.